WSBT 22, your election station, and there's still time to vote in Michigan, but the polls in Indiana now closed.
We are covering races across the area tonight, bringing you the latest. We're starting in South Bend, where first-term Democratic incumbent James Mueller faces a challenge from Republican Desmond Upchurch. WSBT 22's Gabby Luma joins us live now from downtown South Bend after speaking with voters. And Gabby, the last ballots were cast just moments ago.
That's right, Juliana. Just moments ago, I actually just counted the number of ballots cast today, tallying up to 1,200 voters in St. Joseph County. And as you can see behind me, voters are finishing up casting their ballots today. I spoke with some voters telling me that they're either focused on crime and safety or they're content with the state of the city. Incumbent Democrat candidate James Mueller is taking on Republican Desmond Upchurch in the South Bend mayor race, but neither participated in a debate over the summer. This left some voters unsure of where the candidates stand with their votes, especially in a year where some are seeking change with violence in the area. One thing we do know is Mayor Mueller had strong support after he won the Democratic candidacy in May. We're about to head over to Mayor Mueller's watch party location as ballots are being counted and polls are continuing to shut down. As always, we will continue to update you on air and online at WSBT.com. Reporting live in downtown South Bend, I'm Gabby Luma, WSBT 22 News.
The next mayor of South Bend will have some new common council members.
Contested races include 3 at-large seats in districts 2, 3, and 5. WSBT 22 Sean English covering this for us live in South Bend. Sean, you're learning more about the candidates.
5 people are running for 3 seats on the South Bend Common Council at-large race. Now, some of those include Democratic incumbents Rachel Tomas Morgan and Karen White. A Democrat on the ballot for this race, a familiar name, former council president Oliver Davis. Also in the running are Republicans Heidi Sunji Bell and Rhonda Richards. The 2nd district seat is open, with Henry Davis Jr. leaving his seat after running for mayor and losing in May. The Democratic challenger for District 2 is Ophelia Gooden Rogers, going up against Republican Roosevelt Stewart. Democrat Sharon McBride is also looking to keep her seat in the 3rd district race against Republican challenger Sonia Perez. In the 5th district, Republican Eli Wax seeking re-election, while Sherry Bolden Simpson is the Democratic challenger. There are no challengers in districts 1, 4, and 6. We will have continued coverage through the night as results roll in, and we will also be speaking with the candidates after the results come in as well. Live in South Bend, Sean English, WSBT 22 News.
In Goshen, the mayor's race also on the ballot. Interim Mayor Democrat Gina Lichty is facing a challenge from Republican Benjamin Rogers.
This race has had multiple road bumps from beginning to end, especially when it comes to who would be on the ballot tonight. WSBT 22's Ann Lurie is live outside one of the city's polling stations. And Ann, candidates on both sides of the ballot are replacements for the original candidates voted in.
That includes the seat's incumbent Gina Lichty, who's been serving as interim mayor since Jeremy Stutzman stepped down earlier this year. She's the Democratic nominee on today's ballot. As for the Republican option, Benjamin Rogers is actually a replacement on today's ballot. The original Republican primary winner back in May, he actually stepped down from the race in July. Both Lichty and Rogers were appointed by their own party. Finally today, the voters got a chance to say who they want to see as the next mayor of the city of Goshen. And today I spoke with a number of voters coming in and out of this polling location who say despite the number of changes throughout this race, they feel confident the nominee they voted for can do the job. And no matter who wins tonight, they hope to see the city of Goshen continue to progress. Now I'm headed off to the nominees' watch parties, and I'll bring you the latest on this race tonight at 10 and 11. For now, live in Goshen, Ann Lurie, WSBT 22 News.
The city of Plymouth will have a new mayor next year. Incumbent Mark Center is retiring and not running for re-election.
Republican Greg Compton won the May primary. He faces Democrat Robert Lissenberger, who ran unopposed in May.
Making our way to Michigan, we are closely following the race for mayor in Benton Harbor.
Incumbent Marcus Muhammad facing a challenge from Benton Harbor native Gwen Johnson. WSBT 22's Tiana Baxter live in Benton Harbor tonight. Tiana, the outcome could mean someone new in office for the first time since 2015.
Yeah, and if Marcus Muhada is reelected, this will make it his third term in office. However, many questioning where he is after not seeing him at any of the locations. However, he is in Washington, D.C. for what he says is a national announcement at the Biden administration headquarters, speaking on the city being 100% lead-free. Gwen Johnson, however, has been making her rounds at every poll since they opened. The voters I spoke with today shared their reasonings of why they chose to vote in this municipal election, all having one goal in common. They want to see someone who cares and that will bring change into the city of Benton Harbor. Now, polls do not close until 8 p.m., so you do still have time to go cast your vote. I will be heading to the Candidates Watch Party, hoping to bring you guys results at 10 and 11 tonight. Reporting live in Benton Harbor, Tiana Baxter, WSBT 22 News.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 11 with John Paul and Juliana Ferfari.
Tuesday night, 11 o'clock, and WSBT 22 is off the top with complete election coverage of all the night's biggest local races. Our team is live, ready to report right now.
Yeah, we start with the mayor's race in South Bend. We are now learning the results in James Mueller, re-elected mayor, in an easy win over challenger Desmont Upchurch with 73% of the vote.
WSBT 22's Gabby Luma live for us at Corby's tonight. That's where Mayor Mueller's team is, and Gabby Mueller and his supporters celebrating the decisive victory.
A landslide victory for incumbent Mayor James Mueller, who won with 73% of the vote. That's just over 7,000 ballots cast in his favor. Even the watch party behind me had a feeling he would win early as they began celebrating before the votes even came in. The victory bells rung for incumbent Mayor Mueller, and maybe even a bit early. At around 7 p.m., All I Do Is Win came over the speakers before Mueller was officially declared the winner. Today at the polls, I spoke with voters about change they want to see in the city. Some concerned about safety, others saying they're content with the state of the city. When asked about his plans for his next term, Mueller told me he wants to refocus the Republican extremist agenda.
This should be a wake-up call to the opposing party that they need to get with the people and focus on delivering and no longer focusing on their extremism.
Another issue Mueller says he's committed to address is crime and safety in South Bend, something voters told me was important to them as they voted.
Like I said, we got to deliver on the issues, and you mentioned it just now. Public safety is a top issue here in the city of South Bend and in many cities across the country. So we've got to focus on the issues that voters care about.
Mueller will be sworn in once more in the early of January 2024 before he officially begins his second term in office. Reporting live in downtown South Bend, I'm Gabby Luma, WSBT 22 News.
Also at 11, a clean sweep for Democrats on South Bend's Common Council. Take a look. We begin with the at-large races where incumbents Karen White and Rachel Tomas Morgan declared winners, and a familiar face will join them next year. Oliver Davis, who served on city council for 3 terms before losing the mayor's race in 2019, will join them. Meanwhile, incumbent Republican Eli Wax is out in District 5 after losing a close race to challenger Sherry Bolden Simpson by just 37 votes. WSBT 22's Sean English is live for us tonight at Corby's, where the South Bend Democrats are celebrating. Sean, Common Council looking to the future while also enjoying this win.
Yes, it's a clean sweep for the Democrats, but it is also a majority, with all 6 race winners being someone of color. And also the Common Council will be predominantly women moving forward. Ophelia Gooden Rogers is going to represent District 2, a seat left with no incumbent runner, as Henry Davis Jr. abandoned the seat to run for mayor in the primary election, which he lost. 3rd District winner goes to incumbent Sharon McBride. Those candidates who won are celebrating today, but excited to get to work tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is back to work because we're approving the agenda for Monday's council meeting. So Sitting Council will finish off the year. We have 3 council meetings left and a lot to do. Lots of goals for the next 4 years ahead.
I think that our citizens have really voted and they've sent a message. I may be biased because I think that anytime you want a job done, you give it to a female.
Now the next step for these race winners will be getting back to work. 3 of the 6 winners from tonight's race are currently serving on the South Bend Common Council, but all winners today telling me they are eager to get to helping South Bend. Live in South Bend, Sean English, WSBT 22 News.
We are also keeping an eye on several other municipal races across the area. In the race for South Bend City Clerk, Democrat Bianca Tirado gets the victory over Republican Tina Wilson with 67% of the vote. The city's clerk's general responsibilities include doing clerical work for the Common Council while also attending the council's meetings to keep an accurate report of all proceedings.
All right, we're going to Mishawaka now. There will be some new faces on Common Council. Lacey Hahn, Council President Greg Hicksonbaugh, and Matt Mamalenti all winning the 3 seats that are up for grabs.
In District 1, incumbent Democrat Dale Woody Emmons retains his seat with a victory.
In District 2, Democratic challenger Matt Carroll upsetting incumbent Mike Belovich with 52% of the vote.
And in Common Council District 4, Republican incumbent Kate Volker wins her race by just 16 votes. An historic night in the city of Goshen. Their voters have elected the first woman mayor tonight.
All right, take a look here. Interim Mayor Gina Lichty, the Democrat, narrowly defeating her Republican challenger Benjamin Rogers with 54% of the vote, as WSBT 22's Ann Laree reports from Goshen.
After a whirlwind of an election cycle for mayor of Goshen, from changes in office to the ballot, incumbent and now mayor-elect Gina Lichty has not only secured her first elected term in office, she's the first female to be elected mayor in Goshen history. Emotions high at the Democratic Watch Party as Lichty headed to the stage for a victory speech. Despite unofficial results showing her as the 31st mayor of the city, she's already got experience under her belt. Lichty was appointed as interim mayor earlier this year when then-mayor Jeremy Stutzman stepped down. After serving in the role for several months, she's now the first female to be elected to the job. She says she's looking forward to continuing the work she's started.
I am just thrilled. That's really the only emotion, is just elation at this point. Of course, we've got infrastructure projects we need to take care of. We've got some exciting things that we'll be announcing really soon.
Lichty notes it's the people of the city who made history today, and she's honored to have been chosen to be a part of it. In Goshen, Ann Laree, WSBT 22 News.
Following several races for Elkhart Common Council tonight. 6 candidates campaigning for 3 spots in the at-large race. Take a look. All 3 Democrats winning. Incumbent and current council president Arvis Dawson and newcomers Tonda Hines and Alex Holtz.
A very close race in District 1 where Democrat Aaron Mishler retains his seat, defeating challenger Nicole Reed by just 6 votes. Meanwhile, in District 3, Republican incumbent David Henke will be back after beating his Democratic challenger.
All right, checking in on District 4, incumbent Democrat Dwight Fish staying in office with a win over Republican Jerry Abel.
Looking at the District 5 race, Brent Curry will retain his seat with a victory over Nathan Whitten. And
finally, in District 6, incumbent LaTanya King getting the win over her challenger David Wheeler. New for you here at 11, with the polls closed, numbers have been rolling in for the 2023 municipal elections, but experts don't expect the turnout to be more than 20%.
WSBT 22's Asher Bookspan is joining us tonight from the live desk. And Asher, you spoke with a local political science professor about why voter turnout is often lower in these races.
That's right. I was told that many people might not realize the impact local government has on their daily lives and the impact their vote can have on policies important to them. According to IUSB political science professor Elizabeth Bendian, voter turnout is usually expected to be lower for municipal elections rather than elections such as the presidential election. Bendian says municipal elections typically see anywhere from 10 to 20% of voters turnout, while congressional and presidential elections can see anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2 of voter turnout. She says part of the low turnout can be attributed to voters having less access to information on the candidates.
It's difficult to break through in a world where people don't have landlines where everybody picks up. They are often screening their calls. They're often not answering their doors. We're not all watching the same media at the same time for the candidates to go and talk about what they stand for.
Bendian says that voters can get information on candidates that they may be missing by going to candidate forums and reading voter guides to find out what each candidate stands for. At the live desk, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News.